Let's do that. Let's start my video. Welcome, everybody. We are wrapping up our success meetups in January. I just want to give a quick announcement on that. January will be the last of our kvCORE success meetups. And if you want to revisit all the great content that we have done over the past, I think it's a year and a half, almost 2 years, you can always go to our YouTube channel. Let me put that in the put that in the chat for everybody. We covered tons of basic stuff and some next level stuff that I've done. You can find it all there in our YouTube channel. But going forward, starting in February, we're going to have a new webinar series, and it's just going to be yours truly on Wednesdays. I think I'm going to keep it at the same time, and it's going to be kvCORE Mastery and Success. And we're going to be talking about some next level stuff. We're going to be talking more strategy, how to really leverage kvCORE with your business, and more kind of like and doing more of like case study stuff. Like if we were to do this, how would we use kvCORE to help you do that? And so I hope you'll join me for that coming up. We will have these rest of the month, the success meetups, but going forward after that, we're changing over. So I just want to let everybody know that. Okay, and so today our topic is we have the new Smart Assistant with kvCORE. I'm going to stop my share real fast. And I just want to say how excited I am about this. You guys, I've been using ChatGPT for probably the last year or so, and we finally got it incorporated right into kvCORE, so you don't have to go get a ChatGPT account. You don't have to log in there. You can start doing stuff right in kvCORE with ChatGPT, and we call that integration our Smart Assistant. And so I'm going to show you how to use that Smart Assistant today and where you can use it, some things that are coming. We're going to continue to kind of improve the places we're putting it. And we want everybody to feel real comfortable on how to use that, because I want to be real clear about AI is that it's going to get you 80% of the way there. It's never going to be 100% because AI is not a person. AI is just AI. And so everything we do today, I want to be real clear about reading what the AI told you, making sure it's accurate. ChatGPT can't access the current internet, if that makes sense. So you have to, if there's specific things you want to talk about, you got to feed it that information. It can definitely work it into a great email for you, but we'll go over all of those things today so that you can kind of see how that all works. Okay. What I'd love to know from everybody, if you want to type it in the chat, is that let me know if you've used ChatGPT in the past, if this is new to you, or if you've used Smart Assistant within kvCORE. Throw it in the chat. I'd love to hear where everybody's at with that while I get things situated. So I'm going to X out of here. I'm going to pull my kvCORE over. Going to new to AI. So you've got a lot of people that are new or need to learn, and that is awesome. And even if you use ChatGPT regularly, I think you'll find it great that it's fully integrated here so that you don't have to go to a separate place to do that. So, okay. Let me share my screen over. All right. Here is my kvCORE. And I'm going to show you, first of all, where it lives. And then I'm going to show you where it's going to live. And then we're going to talk about all the different ways that you can leverage it. So let me just go here. If you go into your Smart CRM, and I'm going to apply some filters because these are all my dummy leads because I don't want to put real people's information out there. And so there's two places that we have it right now. We have it in email and in text messaging. Okay. So if you go into a person and you want to send an email, this is what it normally looks like. And right here, if you want to use the Smart Assistant, you just click there. And this is where you give it your prompt, much like if you were in ChatGPT, you would tell it what you want. Okay. Same thing with this person doesn't have a phone number. Let's find someone who does. Much like if you're sending a text message, it actually, you don't even have to tell it you want to use Smart Assistant. It just kind of pops up with that. You can take it away if you don't, or you can add it if you want, but you can do it there. The other places you can do it right now is mass email and mass texting. So if I wanted to mass text all of these people, I can use the Smart Assistant, or I wanted to mass text or email anyone, you can do it that way. Where it isn't right now, but will be, is if you were using the advanced editor. It's not in the advanced editor yet, but it will be. And it's not in templates. So if you were to go to your marketing and your campaigns and you went to templates and wanted to create an email template, it's not there yet. It's shouldn't be too much longer. We kind of wanted to get this to you as soon as we could before the holidays, kind of as a little present. And so it's not there yet, but it is coming. It's definitely something they're working on. So it should be there in the future. The other place that I'm hoping we get to pretty soon is in, if you have core video, having it write you scripts for your videos. So we're getting there as well. You can always still ask it to write you a video script. You would just have to, copy and paste it onto something else and read it as you're doing your video. Okay, so that's where it is and where it's coming. So let's go back to some ideas of what we want to do with our ChatGPT. So I'm going to go back to our CRM. And so I'm going to open, I think this one, because it's got a valid everything. And what we're going to do here is we are going to, actually, I'm going to take that off. Let's go to my dashboard because I have some more stuff in here. Let's see. This is better. This one's better. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to send an email, and we're going to use our Smart Assistant. So the first thing it's going to do is it's going to show you just a couple of messages that you can do. So these will just kind of be prompts like, hey, it's a new lead. We try to do some things that are important to you, like promote a listing. And if you hit generate, it's going to be like, hey, I want to introduce this listing. This is some information. Now, I want to be real clear about this. If you do this, if you choose anything listing related, it's going to, and the neat thing about integrating this with in kvCORE as opposed to just going to ChatGPT and asking it to write you the email, ChatGPT might write you the same email, but as you can see, what's happening is it's using kvCORE merge tags in what it's writing. So it's pulling in the first and last name of the person. It's going to pull in the listing price or the lot size or whatever for that specific property. But you've got to tell it what's the property, right? We don't know what the property is unless you tell it. So right up here, whenever you're doing anything with listing merge tags, you've got to tell it what property you're doing. So I don't know if I'm just going to start typing some things and see if it's going to, if you just start typing the address, it's going to come up with something. And you just choose down from the address, it'll pull in all the MLS IDs. So it pulls in this ID. So now, oopsies, now this will work, but it will not work. Don't do it. And it should tell you not to send it anyway, but you want to have an MLS ID in here if you're having any of these merge tags going. It makes sense. Okay. If you don't, what's going to happen is it's going to come through blank. Same thing with like first name, last name. If they don't have a first name or last name, they'll just say hello. They won't put it in there. So I think that's one thing you definitely want to know is adding that MLS ID in there. Okay. Especially if you're promoting any kind of listing. What are some other things we can do with this? And here's just some ideas for you. So, one little pro tip, hang on, I got somebody in the chat. Can we put in multiple MLS IDs? No, you cannot put in multiple MLS IDs because this merge tag has to, these listing merge tags have to know where they're pulling from. So if you put more than two in, it wouldn't know which one to pull, if that makes sense. So yeah, you can only do one MLS ID at a time if you're for merge tags like that. Good question, Randall. Okay, where was I? So the other thing, let's say that you just had a closing and you would like, I'm actually going to X out of this to get rid of that MLS ID. And I'm going to send an email and I'm going to say, I just had a closing and I want to ask them for a testimonial. So one pro tip I'm going to give you is that when you're writing emails, almost always when you're writing emails, unless it's they're asking for a bunch of information that you have to give them, you've got to keep your emails short. Nobody is going to read 3 paragraphs. And ChatGPT, I have found, loves to like make it all long. And I don't like that. So I always tell it when I do my prompt, I'll say, write me a short email or write me um, an email well, let's just do short. Or you could say, write me a 2 paragraph email or write me an email no longer than 4 sentences or whatever you want to do, but get it down. If you just say, and I'll show you the difference, right? If I say, write me an email asking for a testimonial, this is what you're going to get. It's pretty long, right? And it did that merge tag for you, all this stuff. You might want to take this out because if you have a signature, you don't need this stuff, right? Um, but if I say, write me a short email, it's a little shorter. I could be even more specific. Write me a email no longer than 5 sentences. Oh, that's a lot of sentences. I would maybe let's go back to 2. I don't know. I'm gonna have 3. I don't know. But you got to tell it to be short. You got to tell it to be concise. There you go. It's really short. So basically, you want to make sure you're not super verbose and whatnot. Some other things that you could do is you could ask the same person for a referral. You could ask them, let's say this person has been looking at email stuff on your website and they haven't talked to you yet. You could say, write me a short email to a real estate lead that has been searching on my website but has not responded to me yet. There you go. Right. Um, Other thing you want to do is you want to read it. I've been playing with this, and sometimes there's some grammatical errors. There's sometimes ChatGPT just does weird things. You always want to read it and make sure it makes sense, so that you don't send them something that you don't want to. So like, see this, I wanted to reach out and see if there's anything specific I can assist you with. I can assist you with. Do you see that? Right? So make sure that you read what it wrote you. And this kind of goes back to my original premise at the beginning is it will get you 80% of the way there, but you've still got to go that extra 20% to make sure it's correct. Read through it, make sure it sounds like you, make sure, it makes sense before you do it. But it really can give you that jumping off point, that starting point, that 80% of the way. Okay. Um, the other place you're going to find this is, like I said, in the text messages. So maybe you say, send a welcome text message, generate, right? It'll do it. Now, the nice thing about this is if you guys have heard, for deliverability purposes, we've cut down, I think it's 220 or 240 characters in a text message. We really don't want you sending text messages out that are too long, and it will automatically keep it in a deliverable range. You can see it right here. Welcome to our, right? Things like that. Let's say it did it. And you're like, I don't like what that says. Just hit generate again. I mean, you can just keep hitting generate and it will change it every single time, which is nice. Okay. Again, this did this. Welcome again. Okay. So that's the nice thing about it. Here's some other cool things that I really love, and a little bit of a new thing that I don't think has been announced yet, but it just hit your UI is, I don't know, if you have a text message, instead of hitting sending a text, you can just click respond to that text. So if I hit respond, it will put in here already to respond to exactly what they told you, right? So text respond to and generate it. There you go. No problem. I'll keep you updated with market trends. I don't like what that says. Let's try it again. No worries, right? So a great thing is it will actually respond to whatever they said to you, which is nice, especially if you're on the go and you're like, oh, what do I say to this person? It'll give you a jumping off point of what to say, and you can just generate it right there and hit respond, which is really nice. I sent myself an email, but I'm not sure I did it in the right. Um, no, it didn't. Okay. So basically, oopsies. Let's go here. The other thing you can do is if you have somebody who is looking at a property, like let's say I viewed a listing, you could get that MLS number, like I said before, and just send some information about it. Now, those are kind of the basics. The next thing you're going to do is, I mean, you could send them a happy birthday email. You could do some kind of congratulatory, they just had a baby, like whatever you want to do. All those things are easy prompts. But let's say you want to write something with some information in it. You want to give them information that's current. And that's a problem when it comes to ChatGPT because, again, it's not accessing the internet in real time. So if I wanted to send, let's say I'm going to go to my smart CRM and I'm going to send a email, a mass email. So I'm going to say, I want all these people, I'm going to send a mass email and I want to give them a market update. Okay. If I go to Smart Assistant and I say, write a market update email and generate it, what's going to happen is it's just going to kind of pull on the history of the internet, basically. And as you can see right here, low mortgage rates is so not true, right? It's a not true thing. And so that's really why you need to read what it wrote and make sure that it's giving you information. Also, this is super general, right? It doesn't tell you anything really about the current market. It's just very, very general. So what you can actually do is you can feed this information and it can rewrite it for you. Okay. So write me a market update email that market update email for San Diego that uses this data. And then go and write, go just do a quick Google search, San Diego market. Let's do current market up, current real estate market update. Okay, so here's your San Diego housing trends. Here's Redfin. Okay, so I can take this information and I can say, Now you can't give it a website to look at, but you can copy that. I'm also going to copy what happened in November. And put it in here. And then it's going to take everything I told it and craft an email for you. Right? Generate. There you go. So now what it did is it took that information. You're not plagiarizing, right? Because you're just giving it the info and it's reworking it into a nice email for you that has actual good information. So that's why I say if you want to give information, you want to give the information in a raw form to the Chat GPT, the Smart Assist, and it will make you an email, based off of that information. So this obviously is a much more useful email to the person that you're sending it to than that very generic one that actually wasn't even correct, if that makes sense. So you could say things like, let's see, San Diego events this weekend. Here we go. So you could take this and you could say, let's go out of this and go back into it. Right. An email with a list and description of upcoming events this week using this information, and then just go and do all of this. Actually, this is old information, but let's just say it wasn't. Let's just do Saturday and Sunday. So we'll do Saturday and Sunday. Copy, paste, generate. And it should not have that haunted happening tours. Let's see. It shouldn't just redo what they did. Still feeling in a spooky mood, did it? Oh, it is. Yeah, so see how it rewrote it, which is nice. So you're not copying what they said, you're doing that. So you could totally write them, think about what's happening this weekend, if you want to. Okay, I've got some questions. Is there a text limit to input? I don't think so. I haven't run into it if there is. Did you use a colon in between before pasting the website information? I did, but I don't think it's necessary, to be honest with you. But yeah, so like this would be great. And what you could do is if you go back here, you see this has, if you copy the link and you go back here, you could just go back and hyperlink these for your for the people there, right? Which is nice. And send it off. I mean, if you think about it, and this could be this weekend, if you did this once a week to everybody in your database, they're going to get used to getting that from you. They're gonna be like, hey, this person, I'm not gonna send their emails to my junk folder because I get great information about what's happening this weekend every weekend from them, and I know something for me to do, right? Find a good source in your area that you can, copy the information from and just throw it in an email to people, but make sure you have, Chat GPT do it instead of copying and pasting, which is definitely not legal. That makes sense. So those are all really good ways to use this. And I suggest that you do. Who has questions for me about this? Anybody? I know I went through it kind of quick. I think it's cool too. No questions, thoughts? Um, thanks, Kathy. I tried to make it easy. It is easy. I mean, really, it will do anything it will do anything you want it to do. And on top of that, like I said, if you want to just have it keep generating, if you don't like what it says, it will just regenerate it. The other nice thing you can do is you can just keep on perfecting it. So like if you write it and you're like, wow, that's too long, then you can go in and say, I want a short one. Or if you write it and you're like, oh, I don't like what it said, the more specific you are about what you want it to do, the better your outcome is going to be, right? Miko wants to know, can I integrate with RPR since ChatGPT will generate content such as scripts for sellers? Not sure what you mean by RPR. Um, Randall wants to know, can we create telephone scripts with the interface AI? I mean, you can generate anything you want. It's just, I mean, it's just not going to probably like give yourself a test person or like yourself and just go in. I mean, you could do send email or something. Um, I don't, oh, actually, I wonder if they put it in yet. Let me find somebody with they did. It's here now. It didn't used to be. So now this is here. Let's go over this. And this will kind of answer your question, Randall. So if you're doing a call script, you can use Smart Assist. So you could say, Heather wasn't ready to list last year. Need a script for checking into see if she's ready. Right? Something like that, checking in. Hey, I hope you're doing well. There's a, and obviously this is a script that you're going to go off of when you're talking to them. So if you say, hey, this some things are changed, can I share them with you? Or how are you saying? Oh, I'd love to know. Okay, well, hey, first of all, it's a hot market. There's a good chance we can move you could just go down the line and try and get some responses from them. Um, LP Mama is a great one. If you guys don't know what LP Mama is, it's like, can't even remember what they all stand for, but it's like, oh, here it is, location, price, motivation. These are all great questions to ask people if are trying to find out what's going on with them. So you get a new lead in your system, want to check in and ask you some questions, and these are just qualifying questions, right? That you can ask them to get the conversation started, to find out all the information that you need to know from them. Here's some closing, here's some next steps, and that kind of thing. Okay. I still don't know what RPR is, but Miko wants me to send her today's video. We don't send these out after this. What we're gonna do is it will be on the Facebook page and it will be on our YouTube page. So check it out there. I'll try and get it up before the end of the day. Um, I think that's all. And here's the other thing, like I wouldn't you can do it here, but obviously if you're about to like record a video, you could say, write me a 1 minute video script on why it's important to get pre-approved. But spell things right. Important. Right? And so it shouldn't take you more than that X amount of time to say those things for a minute. That's a minute's worth of stuff. You could, you know, send them a video, and that's your script for your video. That makes sense. So that's another thing you can do. Realtor's property resource. I'm not sure what that is. But if it's outside of kvCORE, then no. You probably can't integrate it, but it's a NAR thing. But you could take the data from there and feed it into this and have it write you an email for sure. Okay, cool. All right, guys. Any other questions for me on this? Anybody? Anything? No? Okay. Um, like I said, I think the takeaways here, oh, we do have a message. What we got here? Oh, you're welcome. So just kind of reiterate, be as specific as you can, give it as much information as you can, and always, always, always read it before you send it. Because if you don't, then you're going to be sad because it's not, it's magic, but it's not that magic to where it's infallible. And so you definitely want to read what you're writing, or what it wrote for you. And then, tweak it. Like read it and you're like, I don't like that, or that's redundant, or it doesn't sound like me. I would say this instead, but at least it gives you that first jumping off point to be able to make your email, make your text message, make your call script, and kind of go forward from there. All right, cool. Well, if you guys don't have any other questions, I will wrap it up. If anyone has any questions about anything else, we can chat now. We have some time. It does not have to be about Smart Assistant. If you guys have any questions kvCORE related, I'm happy to answer them. Or you're having an issue, or you're having a question, or you want to learn how to do X, Y, or Z, I can go over that with you. Anybody? Leave it open for another minute or two. Let me know, raise your hand or chat in or question in. Oh, I got a question, yay. Robin just says, thank you. You're welcome, Robin. Lisa wants to know, I had EXP upload my database and it seems that not all the contacts are there. So when you do a contact upload, there's a couple reasons that can happen. One is that you had a duplicate. If you had two people that had the same email or something, if they were already in your system, if they didn't have enough information, um, then they might not go in. If you have just had a name and that's it, they won't go in. The system will only accept things that have a way to contact. So it has to have an address, an email, or a phone number to do that, and whatnot. If EXP did it, I'm not sure. You'd have to reach out to them. If we did it, like if you submitted it to us, then you can always email. I believe let me find the email for you. You can email mm, leave. It is lead config. Yeah, lead config at insiderealestate.com. I'll put that in here for you. And they can help you. Um, Will it work if you don't have an email, but you do have a telephone number? Yes, it will work. However, what will happen is it will give it a dummy email because every emails in kvCORE, like social security numbers, they're like the identifying factor. Because when anybody registers at your site, let's say they come back to your site, let's say they go to the company site and they put their email in, but that email lives in your database, it'll be rerouted over back to you. So it's kind of like their personal identifier. So it has to have one. And if it doesn't have one, then let me see here. See if I have somebody that has just a phone number. Probably not. it'll give it like a kvCORE kind of dummy email is what it will do, but it will import. Um, okay. And then is there a toll-free number we can call for immediate help? No. There is if you need help, you want to do the chat bot down here. And then, they'll get back to you. We used to have, let me see. Let me ask that question. We had a phone number, but I don't know if we're doing that anymore. Let me ask. I'll ask. Will it work if you don't, oh, I already said that. Okay, done. Mandy, let me ask. Okay. Okay. Yes. Mohammed wants to know, it's not related, but how do you add a hashtag how did you add a hashtag under your contacts? Yeah, that's easy. So if you are in your contact, you just go to hashtags, and let's say Heather is part of my family. I'm just going to type family and click it or hit enter, and it will add that hashtag. So it just added the family hashtag to that. You can also, let's say these are all Heather's in my family, and Lauren's in my family, and Michael's in my family, and Joe's in my family. Heather's already got family on there, but I want to add family to those people. I would just, I can do it en masse and add hashtag family and update it. Now they all have the family hashtag. That makes sense. Let me know if you have any other questions on that, Mohammed. Do you help people set up the kvCORE to do auto tasks? Click on Smart CRM. Yes. There. Sphere. A sphere. Here. How did I add it up here as like a quick filter? That's a filter, not necessarily a hashtag. So I'm going to clear my filters. I'm going to click filter. And so you make a filter for whatever you want. So I want all new leads with the hashtag of family. And then it's going to apply that filter. So now these are all the people that are in my family. What I can do is I can then save that filter, this family, and I can also pin it to the top. So you can, now this is going to be hard because I have all these pawns in here, and it's going to be way over here. The other place you can get it is if you just click in, any saved filter you have will be here. And so I can pull up my family or my A sphere. And actually there's going to be new changes coming to the filters where they're not going to have all these across the top anymore. There's just going to be a few, and you're just going to have to go find them here anyway. But you can go in and just hit filters, family, pulls my family, or pulls whatever filter you made to begin with. Okay. Let's see. Do you help people set up the kvCORE to do auto tasks? Lisa. Where's Lisa on my menu here? Lisa, I'm gonna let you talk there if you want to unmute yourself. I'm not sure what you mean by auto tasks.
So I know like some people you just pay them a fee and they're with the EXP and then they help, upload your contacts. I set them on auto emails and kind of get the thing self-running because I've been with the
Ah,
EXP for 3 years. I've been in real estate for 16 years, and having this database is close and the best I've ever done in 16 years, but I don't feel like I know how to use it right, and
Hmm.
me to sit there and just be on a million like YouTube things. I'd rather just set it up.
Gotcha. You have several options in that sense. So if you go into the marketplace,
Okay.
the first place I would point you is done for you services. That's my little wheelhouse. And we have what's called a setup service. In that setup service, we do several things. We, first of all, make sure that all of your stuff is set up correctly. We do a lead import for you. We put all these situational smart campaigns into your account for you. So never buy both of these. This is included in this. We're going to configure your website for you, make sure your areas are on there. You have nice, pretty widgets for all your areas and all that good stuff. And make sure your SEO is set up properly. So that's a one-time bundled fee. The other option you have is if there's specific things you want done for you, you can do a consultation. We can talk about what you want, and I can send you a statement of work of what it would cost us to do it. The other thing you can do is like, hey, I have all of these. Let's go back to the marketplace. I watch the videos. I've got some questions. I need some one-on-one time with somebody. You can do an hour-long coaching session here, or you can do a half-hour help session here. Both of those are me. I'm the only one that does those, so you'll get to me either way. And we can go over anything you want. So these are more for people who like, hey, I have this niche or I have this thing and this is what I want to do with my kvCORE. Will you show me how to make kvCORE work for me? Let's go over it. This is what we should be doing to get that going. So those are all of the options. And like I said, all of those are me. That
Okay,
makes
well
sense. So yeah.
that sounds good. And then so another thing I want to know is with Zillow, I sell a lot of homes and a lot of buyers follow me on Zillow. And what I've been doing is texting or emailing one by one, but it takes like 2 to 4 hours to text, a couple hundred people that follow me. So I want to be able to um, export that list and then like somehow get it integrated with kvCORE so it just does like, oh, open house coming up, and then that
Hmm.
way I'm not manually texting and
Yeah.
emailing and wasting 2 to 4 hours a week.
So you can export out of Zillow and just do a simple lead import. So if you go to all lead engine tools and bulk import your contacts, I would, if I were you, submit the file to us. Let us know it's a Zillow file, and they know what to do because it's a pretty straightforward import. Um, then what I would do is go to your uh, lead engine and your Dropbox and get your Zillow key is right here. So if you go to Zillow and you go to Zillow Tech Connect and say, I want to connect kvCORE, and you give it this key, which is your key. So this key is my key, but your key would
Okay.
be there. Then any new lead from Zillow will automatically go into kvCORE for you.
Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Because that
That's
way
the way to
I want
go.
to route them to like our site, not Zillow site.
Exactly. So it's gonna put them into kvCORE, and then you can set up, all. So if you're sending them listings, you're sending them a market report, all that stuff's gonna come from kvCORE, not from Zillow. It's gonna go back to your personal website, not Zillow's website.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. If you go to support and training, go to the support center and just type in search all articles, and I'll put this article in here for you. Zillow. Zillow Tech. Oh no, you want this one. Zillow Tech Connect. I'll put this in the chat for you guys. But this is how you do it. It's step by step on where to find it in Zillow, um, right there in your Zillow Tech Connect. So you definitely want to do it. So everybody else, it will not go backwards. But any new lead that comes in will. So you'll want to do that import export first.
So what would you say, like I've got like 5,000 names in my phone, but if I add somebody new or I get like a new flipper, how do I get that to update the new ones I add? Because once I add it, I don't even remember their name. So You know what I'm saying? So like I did like an Excel spreadsheet last year, but I've added people, new clients this year. How do I get those in there too?
From a spreadsheet or from your phone?
For my phone.
What kind of phone you got?
Samsung Galaxy 22s.
So it's a Google phone?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's real easy. So if you go to, so up here, right here, and first of all, I just want to say this, I can't stress this enough. This is a side note. Connect your Google account, people, like connect it today. If you have not connected this, if you don't have Google, if you've got Outlook, do Outlook, if you've got a different carrier. But if you do not do this, the majority of emails you send from kvCORE are going to go to spam. Why is that? Because if you don't connect your mail account, we're sending everything you send from kvCORE is going through a dummy relay email that's masked and it's seen as spam almost all the time. When you connect your mail, it gives us the permission to actually send from your personal email account, which has a much better landing rate. So please, if I can give you one piece of advice today, please connect it. But when you do connect it, it gives you the option to sync your contacts. Some people want to do that. Some people don't want to do that. Some people want to do that because they want to get all their contacts in there. And some people are like, yeah, no, I don't want all those people in there. I want to, I got to clean up stuff up before I do that. So it's up to you. But if you want everybody that's in your Google phone to get over into here, you will just, there's an option when you do connect it is to sync your contacts. So all you do is you click on this and it's going to pull up your Gmail. Make sure you are logged into Gmail when you do it. You pick the Gmail that you want, and then it will automatically kind of go through the process and ask you the questions of what you want to do. So for sure, you want to go ahead and connect your email there.
So
Okay.
what do you think is better if I have 5,000 contacts? I think that's just like so overwhelming. I don't remember everybody, or is it
Mm-hmm.
better to just, like I've got them in groups like past clients, investors, flippers,
Mm-hmm.
sellers, buyers. Is it better to just pull the groups of people that I've kind of got identified or do the whole thing or
I would probably do it in groups if you can. It's going to make it easier for you. 100%.
yeah, because I mean I can't work with 5,000 people, but if I have groups, like if I want
Yeah.
investors and I got an off market deal, I want to just be able to blast them an
And
email.
when you bring them in, you'd want to tag them as such. You'd want a hashtag investor. You'd want probably um, a status of prospect. They're not a new lead. They're somebody that that those kinds of things. And you can go from there. So absolutely.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. So, okay. Let's see. I got some more questions here. I answered that. Is there a way to set up retargeting without using street text? You want to retarget the people that are in your database, Mahmood, I'm sorry, Mahmood. Is that what you mean? Where's Mahmood at in my list? Um, Oh, he says yes. Okay. So the best way to do retargeting, there's a couple things. Number one is you can go to the marketplace and you can go to, I believe, did we take it out? I don't think we did. You can do retargeting here, or you can do Google retargeting. Either way, this does Facebook. I think it does Facebook. This is Facebook retargeting. This is Google retargeting. So and it's not necessarily your database. What it is your website visitors. So if someone's been to your website, we know this, whether or not they're in your database anyway, and it will retarget them for you. So those are good. I don't recommend doing this if you don't have very much web traffic, however, because you're paying to retarget like 5 people if only 5 people have been your website. Your other option is to run like a retargeted Facebook ad. Have I done something on that? I feel like I did. Basically, you would export your list and import it into a custom audience. Let's see if I have. Um, Here, I will give you this. Let's see, where's the chat here? Yeah, okay. So if you don't have a bunch of website traffic, I would go with that video. Here's another one that might work for you. These are just past meetups I've done about kind of retargeting with custom audiences in Facebook. So basically, you're gonna export your list, you go into Facebook and you do a custom audience for your ad, and then you pay to retarget those people. Okay. Mandy wants to know, my social media accounts and my profile is set to me, Rematch brokerage. I can't change them as they are grayed out. How do I change them? Mandy, because you're with Remax, they are ingested from Remax. The only way to change them is to change them in Max Center, and that comes into kvCORE. So some of you might be with some brokerages that ingest, and if they ingest their information, which Remax does, you have to change it in Remax Max Center. You cannot do it in kvCORE. Downloaded the app on my phone, but it's not connected to my profile. It doesn't show my contacts or my activity, but I can see it on my laptop. I'm not sure, to be honest with you on that one. I would contact support. It sounds like it's kind of a bug or something's not hooking up correctly. You scheduled a support call. She wasn't able to help me with a lot of my issues. She said it was beyond her capacity. What? Scheduled a support call. She wasn't able to help you. I'm sorry, that sucks. If that's the case, I mean, some of it is going to be beyond her capacity if you're Remax because it's something that we can't get to because it's Remax related. However, um, I would, I'm, I would email support, let them know that that's what happened, and say, hey, these are my issues. I need someone to call me that knows how to fix these particular issues. Is what I would do, unfortunately. Um, Let me see if they got back to me about that number. I don't think, let's see. Yeah, no, you can only book a support. You can book a support call um, by going here. Um, and then that's what I would do. And right now, I don't think you have to wait terribly long. Um, yeah, there's support calls available tomorrow, as early as tomorrow. So I would just book a support call and let them know that. Um, and if they still can't help you, just say, well, who's the next step? Someone's got to get back to you. That's kind of crazy. Um, okay. So Robert wants to know, going back to connecting your Gmail, my EXP address is an alias for my Outlook address, assuming that connection still works, right? Yes, you're going to want to connect your Outlook in that case right here for that. And you're going to want to make sure you think about this. I think you're going to want to go into your settings and make sure that your email matches correctly. You might, I'm not 100, I mean, it will work. I'm not 100% sure. If it's an alias, you probably want your from email to be, you probably want your email to be whatever your real email is and connect it. And you would want your from email to be your EXP email. if that makes sense. I think that's how that works. Pretty sure. Okay. All right, guys, we got 5 minutes left. Any other questions or anybody that I missed? All right, cool. Well, thanks for all that stayed with me through the end of this. I'll try and get this up on YouTube before the end of the day. If I don't, it'll be up first thing tomorrow morning. And I will also post the recording in the Facebook group. And I wish everyone happy chat GPTing and, use it as much as you can because it's a great tool and it's kind of where things are going. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day and we will see you next week. Take care. Bye.